I think we're live.
We are live.
That was cool. Countdown.
I did like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to, because this is my first time using StreamYard, I'm going to hop onto Facebook and just see if we are live,
Cool.
just so we're not like just talking to each other without an audience. Because you never know, right?
That is a bad thing, but
Okay, let's see here. So we are supposedly synced with Facebook and YouTube.
very good.
And let's see here. Where is it? Okay, it looks like we're on about a 25-second delay because I'm looking at my Facebook page now and it's just loaded. So
Interesting. Okay.
we are live now. I want to make this public. And if you have your Facebook opened, you can actually share, you can share this. So let me actually add you to this.
Okay, so wait to share.
I'm tagging you in the link. So let's see there. Okay, now you should be able to grab that and share it. It might even be on your wall. I'm not sure.
So I do add to profile.
Yeah, you can add that. So it looks like we do have some people on. We have like 6, 7, 8 people.
Great.
So, all right, we're going to get this show started. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, and it's January 28th. It's that time of the year where we talk about the state of everything, right? The economy, the country, and then I wanted to do the state of the real estate market because it's just so fast moving right now, and everybody's asking all these questions. You know, how are the interest rates? How's the market? Are the condos coming back? So, but
Great question.
All of that. I am welcoming my special guest today, Lori Laramie.
Hello.
From beautiful Treasure Coast, Florida, down in the Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce. You handle a lot of areas down there, so
I do.
Thank you for coming on short notice. We had another agent from the Southwest that was supposed to be on, and she had to cancel. She wasn't feeling too well. So,
thank you
for joining.
And thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
To talk about all this stuff here going on in the real estate economy. Wow, what a market the last 6 months. So I'm going to try and keep an eye on comments. I don't have a moderator here looking out for comments and questions, but this is my first time using StreamYard, and I will say that there's differences between StreamYard and Zoom when you're syncing to social media. So I'm still learning. So forgive me out there if I don't see your comment. I am going to try and keep an eye on my Facebook feed here and see if the comments are coming in there, because I don't see anywhere where they are, but there might be. Let's see here. And I'm not really sure where it is on this side of things, but if you guys have any questions, just shoot a comment. Here we go. There we go. Okay. It looks like I have something here. So I'm going to just do a test. Hello, everyone. And let's just see if we see that anywhere. But it looks like, yeah. All right. We have some comments. All right. Now they're synced. All right. All right. Awesome.
Excellent.
Good progress. So welcome again, everyone. Appreciate everyone joining us. We're going to try to host this show every Thursday at this time at 2:00. So you can count on, we're not going to talk about the same stuff, but we're going to talk about the markets. And I'm going to have agents on from different areas throughout the state and even out of state. Occasionally, we'll have some agents joining us and some mortgage professionals from other parts of the country to tell us how their market is doing and how their area and our area are kind of working, whether they're working in sync, hand in hand, or they have challenges that we don't have that we're benefiting from. So it's just good to know. We do have listeners from all over, watchers from all over the place. So I have friends up in New York in the Northeast area that might be able to pick up on some tips on the show. So
It's fantastic.
So we're gonna hop right in, and we do have some friends, still joining us. There might be a few mortgage professionals. I don't have one of those live with us today, but I know there were going to be a couple of them that are on watching because they're busy and they're not able to break away live. But we might ask them if they're on to give us their insight on some of the mortgage related stuff that's happening. So here we go. So the number one question I get, probably you as well, Lori, is how's the market? The market must be on fire. You're just, you guys must be crazy right now. So I'm gonna go right into you here and find out how things are going on the Treasure Coast. How is inventory? I know inventory is really challenged right now all over the place in Florida. Some areas are a little different. So the East Coast, you're on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah.
How's your prices there? How's your inventory there?
I will say it goes up, one down. So we have the price increases are definitely rising, and our inventory is very low. In Martin and St. Lucie, just to kind of give you guys an idea, in St. Lucie County, our month supply of inventory is 1.8 months. So a year progression from December of 19 into December of 2020, that's down 48%, so almost 49% of inventory. And that's for St. Lucie County. And it kind of coincides with Martin County as well. It's down 51% for a month's supply of inventory. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, you asked me about the price increases as well. So the median sales price has gone up in Martin County 8%. So it went from 370,000 to 400,000. Wow. So that's up. And in St. Lucie County as well, that's up 14%. So
wow, 14%. So that 14% number is ringing a bell right now because the state of Florida actually had a 14.7% increase in median home price. It's 309 now. 309 is the median home price in the state of Florida. Our median home price is 275 here in Brevard. So we're still one of the more affordable areas. We're still below statewide median price. Our price increases were also in the 14% category. So that kind of is consistent there. Our inventory levels are down below 2%. We're at 1.8%. Month supply. So it's not percent, 1.8 months supply. Yeah. And that is historically the lowest it's ever been.
I have not, since I've been in real estate, have not seen the month supply inventory ever that low, especially to fall below 2 months.
Right.
So we're kind of, Brevard County is kind of coinciding with St. Lucie because their median sales price is right around the 270 mark.
Right. So we get the question a lot. I don't know if you get this, the crystal ball question. Where do you think the market's going to be, next year or the year after? And I've had some people ask me, is now the time to sell? Are we at the top right now? And of course, no one really knows the answer to that. We have a general idea that we're definitely in the later stages of a huge run that we've had since 2013.
Correct. So, I agree with that.
And it just continue to go up 14-15% a year? Probably not. That's going to be really hard to say that without a doubt that it's going to continue at 14% a year. Can it continue to hold up and go, even higher and higher, but maybe at a slower pace? That's probably the way it looks right now. The rest of this year, the way the inventory is right now, it would have to change drastically. And right now with coronavirus, with the pandemic, the last 7 months, it actually helped us.
Which is
people
crazy.
Aren't traveling, they're staying home and they're making moves. So
absolutely. And so many people are working from home, and I'm dealing with this in my own house. We're both desks in the bedroom, and people want to upgrade. So, it could work a great way if you have a home to sell and you want to trade up with interest rates being as low as they
Right.
are, being able to get top value for your house. But then, you kind of run the risk of being in multiple offers, but you do have that opportunity
Right.
for more buying power.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and one of my mortgage professional friends usually gives an example on that, like the buying power from, from when rates were 4%, right? Now they're closer to two and a half, well, two and high twos. Let's just say
Yeah,
high twos. They're somewhere closer to 3% now. So, think about that. That's a huge reduction in interest rates and a huge reduction in payment if sales price was still the same. If you're buying $400,000 home, that gives you like 25% more buying power,
correct.
with
Yeah.
that reduction in rates. So it does help quite a bit. And then the way the rental market is, I don't know how your
Oh,
rental rates are. I mean, even if you can find a place to rent, it's like, wow.
absolutely insane. And I just checked this the other day because I had somebody looking in the area, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Martin County. There's nothing that would even be, you know, before you could find something for 15 to $1,800. Now it's, 19, 2,000, 2,500. So with also limited inventory. So it's almost nearly impossible to find.
hmm and pool homes, on going shifting gears back to the single family home sales.
Yeah.
I can't even find a pool home for sale. It's really, really hard. And when they do pop up, they could be high priced too. They can be, even over what you would expect them to be. And if they're in really, really good shape, they sell quick. So
Right.
right now, I'm putting the word out. If you have a pool home and you're thinking about selling, I'll put a guarantee that I'll have it sold. Obviously, within reason. It's got to be within realistic. You can't just say, "Oh, I want $500,000" if it's only worth 400. But within
Absolutely.
reason, I can get a pool home sold within 7 days. You know,
Yep.
7 day, a little 7 day pledge, a little 7 day promise. If you're thinking about selling, definitely now is a great time to sell. No, I'm not saying your home won't be worth more at the end of this year, but it's still a great time to sell. You're in the driver's seat right now.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. Everybody is now the time. Yes, now is the
Yeah.
time.
I mean, it's obviously I have some buyers right now and they're very frustrated. It's like, wow,
Mhm.
any new listings? No new listings? Really? This market really stinks for us. For buyers, it's hard to find quality homes coming on the market. So that's why the home builders are building like crazy again, right? I mean, they're just trying to keep up with inventory, the spec homes,
Right.
and even that's a challenge. I mean, they're putting inventory out there and it's selling. So
No, absolutely. And Martin County's a little with the building. They really put a cap on some things here and there. So
yeah,
the,
it's a
the
little
building here
tighter.
is a little bit slower.
Yeah, and same here. I mean, we have this area called Vieira, Brevard, right? So the town of Vieira. They have all the new master plan communities going in, and it's actually one of the top master. It's a top 15 now, top 15 master plan community. So they're doing really, really well, and they have a builder here, Vieira Builders. They're building, quality, good quality homes, price ranges, from the high threes all the way on up to in the 800 range. So they have, a little broad range there for different, buyers, families, depending on the size home you need. But
Oh,
the
that's
communities
fantastic.
are selling out quick, quick, quick. They're going a lot quicker than they anticipated. Um,
Wow.
but they do have, a strategic plan. They're not building on every piece of property. They are spacing it out and making it a little bit more planned and regulated. There's preserving some land, keeping the nature involved there. So
Right.
but they do a
Understandable.
really
Same
good
thing here.
job. I just noticed a comment here. Our mortgage friend Steve Thaggard with Embrace Home Loans just hopped on.
Hi.
Thanks for hopping on, Steve. We were just talking on the mortgage, a little bit. We're gonna come into that next. So the interest rates, which is helping fuel this boom that we're having in housing, on top of the low inventory and the coronavirus pandemic. Interest rates, Steve, if you're still with us, can you tell us, have they been stable for the last, month or so? And what is the outlook for interest rates so far that you're seeing? I know you can't give a crystal ball, but if you can give us any kind of insight on interest rates, and are they, going to remain stable at least, say for the next 3 to 6 months. So if you hear that comment and you want to comment, we'll come back to you and we'll talk about it. And I'll go ahead and read off your comment there. But so what I'm seeing, Lori, and again, I'm not the mortgage person, but I'm seeing rates range kind of between the 2.625 on the low side for 30-year fixed, a 15-year, believe it or not. I don't know if you have anybody like looking to do 15 years, but they're considerably low. They're like 3/8 of a point to a half a point lower.
Right.
If you can get a 15-year for 2.25, that's really good. So that's what I've seen. I've seen that, and they've ticked up and down by, say, a quarter point, 3/8 of a point. Steve will probably have a different outlook on that, but that's what I have seen. And the mortgage products are still available. Steve just chimed in here. He said outlook seems good for the first half of 2021 so far.
Okay, that's good to know.
Mortgage rates, looking like they're going to be stable unless anything drastically changes. But I do keep up with the mortgage market there and read some of the reports. And they're, the Fed talking about, the interest rates and all that. They're planning on keeping the interest rates low for at least the remainder of 2021. So, but again, that doesn't mean they're not going to go up a little bit.
Right.
Low to me, low rates means anything in the threes, obviously, is still very low. So even if they ticked up a 0.5% or a point even, and they're in the threes, they're still low. So
absolutely. I remember 4.5% being really low. Or like 3.5%.
In 2013, when we went way down, we went from like the sixes, and then we dropped down to like 4%. Was like,
yeah,
no way we ain't getting a better rate than that. You better lock in now, 4%. Now it's like, wow, we're talking about maybe even a 2% rate, on a particular day, 2%.
Right. So, and that brings up another point too, with people that are refinancing, competing with the new home purchases and seeing a little bit of a slow, with just appraisals and all that happening right now.
Yes. The new homes, and there, we'll talk about that too a little bit, because what the next point is, what would cause the market to go higher or decline at this point. I mean, it is a supply and demand economy. So obviously interest rates, if they're stable, inventory stays low like it is, you're going to, even with new home builders building like they are, they're still having a hard time keeping up with demand.
Exactly.
So resale home prices should continue to rise as long as all of that stays on course.
Correct.
And then, of course, what would cause it to decline? I mean, a major economic crisis, jobs, the economy, that sort of thing. I mean, regionally, we're like in our county, we have a lot of aerospace, a lot of jobs still coming in. So we might actually be in better shape than some other areas in terms of that, because, we do have a lot of space, the SpaceX jobs here, the aerospace, L3 Harris, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. We have a lot of that. And we still are a growing healthcare county as well, too. So even if, say the economy did slow a little bit, our area might still flourish in that economy. So
yeah, same thing here. And I would say the same thing. The only thing I could see with a decline would be, a loss of jobs and, the buyer engagement being reduced because of that. But I'm not really seeing too much.
Yeah. Talk about the influx of people, not just with jobs, but the boomers, the out-of-state people that are coming in. I've had, half of my business has been from out-of-state people in the last 6 months. So our Northeastern friends, they're all looking to relocate down here, between the cold weather, the high taxes.
The no state income tax.
So there's been some bad stuff happening in some cities, and it's leveled out into helping some other areas like Florida really flourish.
No, absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of our Northeast coming in and referrals from my northern realtor friends up there as well. So,
Yeah, that's great. So I'm here with Lori Laramie. She's a realtor with Coldwell Banker down in the Treasure Coast area of Florida. I love the Treasure Coast. I love to visit down there. We visit down in South Florida a lot, so we're always passing through there. Sometimes we'll stop off and have dinner on the along the causeway there, and
so pretty.
love the area there. It's so nice. I actually have a brother that lives in Palm City, so they love it there. It's a great area.
Yeah,
Um,
it's beautiful. So
it
you have
is.
to stop next time you come. Let me know
I
when
definitely
you guys
will.
are in town.
Definitely will. So we're also streaming, and I've actually used StreamYard now for the first time. I've used it as a spectator, but now I'm using it as a host, and it's pretty cool. The streams, I can stream to YouTube and Facebook. I can't stream with Instagram. They haven't integrated Instagram yet with StreamYard, so I'm not sure what the reasoning is for that. But we're live on YouTube right now, believe it or not.
That's so neat.
So we're all
What
over
a
the
great
world
platform.
right now.
Yay!
Thousands, maybe, who knows, maybe even millions of people will see this stream by the end of the year, because it will stay there. It'll archive, and that's cool. I actually, Lisa from Tampa commented, and she said, I'm going to check this out later. I wanted to watch, but walking out with clients. She's an agent over in the Tampa area. If you need anybody over in that area, she's awesome, super awesome. That's Lisa
Yeah,
Dean.
fantastic contact.
Yeah. And thank you, Lisa. She said we always have great content, great info.
Thank you.
Yeah. Steve, thank you for hopping on. I know you're probably busy locking in rates right now. all those home buyers and refinances.
Yes,
So
they
we're
are
going to move
busy,
on to
busy.
the next topic, trying to time the market as a buyer or a seller, right? I've heard this on both sides. As a seller, I actually had some people that said 2 years ago they believed the housing market topped. This was in 2018. They're selling, they're going to rent. Okay. And again, I'm not criticizing them. But again, this is why I always put this out there. No one knows when the market actually comes to a halt and goes down, or turns around and goes back up. No one knows that. If someone knew that, they'd be an absolute genius, and they probably would be doing something different than selling real estate. But so trying to time the market. Have you ever had any experiences with sellers over the last couple of years, thinking it was time to sell and they sold, and now they're kicking themselves?
Not that I've talked to personally, but friends that say, "Oh, I wish I would have waited. I wish I would have waited." But again, it's the same thing. We can't have that. We don't have the crystal ball. We can't predict the future. And at
Right.
that moment they sold was the best time that they could sell at that moment. I'm thinking if you really could hold off, but again, we don't know what the next quarter or next year is going to bring right now.
Right.
So with rates being so low and inventory being so low, as a seller, it's a great time. And that's
Yeah.
what I mean, it's a great time.
And then, of course, as a buyer, right, if somebody's looking at the market right now going, everything's just so high, it's just so inflated, but but they want to buy, but the right house just isn't there either. But then there's some buyers that think, I just want to wait till next year. I think the market's going to come down. That could be a costly mistake as well, because while the market may come down a little bit in your area, what about the interest rates? What if the interest rates are a percentage point higher? What if they are still low, but say 4.5 to 4 3/4? Now the discount that you may have received on your home is actually costing you more monthly.
No, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a challenge either way to try to time the market, because as I think to myself, I was thinking about selling my house last year, and the house is now worth considerably more this year, believe it or not. So I'm glad I didn't. Now, of course, I would have bought something else. I wasn't going to rent, but who knows, right? I mean, who knows what I would have bought, and would it have gone up as much in value as the house that I have now? So it's really all guesswork. And what I try to tell people is don't try to pick a top or a bottom in any market, because it usually doesn't work out. If you get lucky, you could, right? You could have gotten lucky in 2007 and sold right at the height of the market, or 2006, wherever you were in that market. Some areas peaked in 06, some peaked in 7. You could have gotten lucky, right? And just said, all right, I'm timing it, I'm getting out, and then I'm going to rent
Right.
out for half the amount of. Maybe that worked out for some people.
Right.
But,
I wouldn't recommend it at all. Oh, hang on one second, Steve. My battery is about to die.
okay.
But I am here. I got to plug in before I lose you.
All good.
But and I know with on topic too with the multiple offers too. I didn't know if you were going to bring that up with buyers
Yeah,
that were
so
frustrated.
we're gonna talk about the multiple offers next, actually. So, trying to time the market, obviously, and then, trying to get the property and acquire, as a buyer, having to acquire a property that's
Right.
a hot property. I just went through this a couple of times, and it's not fun, believe it or not, for some buyers when they know that they're going to have to bid maybe even over ask price or higher price than they really wanted to pay. And you have to understand that as a buyer, the more interest there is in a home, usually the higher the offer price is going to be. So if it's a great home in a great area and the price point is still, relative to the other homes, and you're going to, have to up your ante. You're going to have to come in with a better offer, and hopefully you have a realtor that is savvy in dealing with multiple offers, because there are some tricks of the trade there. And as you know, Lori,
Gotta be
being a
creative.
buyer's agent as well, you've dealt with this many times. So
Oh yeah,
tell me a little bit about that experience.
with the multiple offers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had that one recently. I working with one of my customers right now that we had to go in over ask. And as far as with mortgage, there's a mortgage person having to come in with a DU, which I'm seeing a lot, not just a pre-approval, but to have the direct underwritten file already ready to go. We're seeing as well. I'm being asked for.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to give away all my tricks here on this forum, but there are some things, some strategies that you could use. I had a message coming in here. Huh, that was strange. Somebody sending me a text message about the market rally. I don't know who that is. Okay, well, cool. Thank you. Yeah, there are some strategies that are commonly used. Obviously, if you're getting a mortgage and you're more than capable of getting a mortgage, and you're not really too concerned about the appraisal. Let's say you're getting a 60% loan to value down mortgage. So you're putting enough money down, like even if the house appraised out a little less, it's not going to affect your loan. You're not going to affect your loan terms, not going to affect your interest rate. Some people will say, hey, we're going to pay cash, but we are going to get a mortgage, but it's not contingent on a mortgage. Okay. I've seen that strategy used. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, depending on the offer terms and the price. So, having a really strong agent is first and foremost the most important thing in this market right now, and a very strong lender that people know they can trust, that will get the job done.
Absolutely.
So, you better, as a buyer, if you're watching this as a buyer and you're thinking about competing for a home or going out to buy a home, you might actually be competing with somebody else if you're thinking about just going to buy any home. right now. Just about any home has interest in it right now, if it's a good quality home and it's priced fair. So my recommendation is make sure, if you don't have yourself pre-approved or you haven't done it in a while and you think, oh, I'll just get pre-approved when I find the house, don't do that. Get the pre-approval first. Make sure that you have a lender that's willing to examine all of your financial status, everything, your situation, your assets, your income. Make sure that they've really verified it, because if you're self-employed, that's another nail biting thing that can come back to bite you even after you've gotten pre-qualified. Is make sure you're really truly pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. Because if you're pre-qualified and you're going in to compete with multiple offers, the listing agent, and again, I'm going to switch hats now. Now I'm a listing agent. I look at this as, okay, well, I've got 3 offers to choose from. Who's the most solid offer? Might not be about who's paying me more, offering to pay me more, because they don't deliver the cash at the closing, or the funds, and they don't get it done, and they fail. Then you've just wasted a whole bunch of time, right? Going with that person that may or may not have been fully qualified. So that's important in this market. More important than anything else is make sure you're financially, capable, more than capable. And if you have a lender that's willing to, give you a pre-approval and talk to the other agent, as well, just say, hey, just so you know, I've verified, income and assets, they're good to go. So,
yeah. That communication is key.
Your personal information, but they can give you a very good, solid, confidence builder.
I agree with that point. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and of course, if you're a home seller, you definitely want to make sure that you and your agent are examining offers and putting together some requirements, kind of mental requirements, like, all right, well, this is what we really would look for to make sure that the offer is solid, not a $1,000
earnest money deposit,
escrow deposit, and then it's a $400,000 house, up the ante there.
right.
Of course, the more they put down, it's not always guaranteed that, something's going to go wrong and then you're going to get that money. But again, it's just a confidence builder. The other thing is the terms of the contract. How many days are you asking for inspection, and how many days to closing? Most people want 30 to 45 days in this market, this fast moving market. If you come in with a 90-day, closing, unless that's what the seller wants, you're generally not going to be looked at in a positive. You're asking for a long closing, unless that's what the seller is really asking for.
I've only seen that about one time where they wanted to get it under contract.
Yeah, anything can go wrong. And of course, if you have a home to sell and you're trying to do a home sale contingency to buy another house, that's going to be really tough. Really, really tough. So
yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in that one.
Yeah. So again, if you already have an agent, you're out there maybe in a different area, and you're watching this, hopefully you pick up just some things here, just conversation starters with your realtor, and maybe you're thinking about selling or buying later in the year. So again, these are points you can just make notes of, and down the road you can if I'm in your area and you need somebody, or if you're in Laurie's area in the Treasure Coast, hit us up. We'll give you our information, and you can reach out to us, and we can talk strategy and how to put yourself in the best position as a buyer or a seller. And that's the one thing I stress the most, is put yourself before the game is won. You have a game plan. Before
Absolutely.
the game is even played, you have a game plan. So you have that game plan by an expert in your area, and you will do very well. You'll fare well. And even if you are competing against other buyers, these things here, you'll be able to, have a better strategy for that. You may not always win. I've lost out too. I've had people getting mortgages and we're losing out to cash. So it's pretty tough in some areas.
You're right. The game plan is important. Just that communication.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Plan A and a plan B, and hopefully you don't have to go to a plan C, but
Agreed.
just basic bullet points there, basic plan. Okay, so how are other markets, other areas affecting us here in Florida? Of course, everybody I talk to in other markets, anywhere from Arizona to California, New York. Now, okay, so I have some friends up in New York City, agent friends, and they're going through some challenges. But another friend called me today, and he said, I sold a property in Syracuse, New York, and we had multiple offers on it. And so when people say, "Oh, New York is everyone's leaving New York, coming here," not true. There's definitely people moving around, but the New York City, like the Manhattan, the condominiums there are getting hit pretty hard right now. So, I mean, even rentals, I've seen condo prices, they're dropping drastically. So, stuff that was 800,000, or, it's actually 500, 600,000, and those are like list prices. So they're having a hard time getting buyers right now. Of course, they're still on a shutdown kind of mode, so it's kind of tough. But then my agent friends over in Brooklyn and Queens, they're doing pretty good over there. People are coming in, that are moving there, and they're going, well, I'm not gonna buy a condominium that's 800,000 when I can buy a house in Queens or Brooklyn for 500,000.
Right.
And just commute to the city if I'm working in the city. Or, a lot of people are able to work from home now. So that's kind of changed the whole dynamic where, again, you can move to the suburbs, you can move to the outskirts. I've got some relatives that they're up, in the Yonkers area, and, those markets there are doing well. They're actually surging. They got multiple offers. So, it's just the shift that we're going through right now, regionally and nationally. But overall, I think everybody's doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. The same thing. I have a friend up in Mount Pleasant who sells real estate in New Jersey, and the same thing with them. They can't keep things on the market. It's the same situation.
Yeah, it's same everywhere right now. But the positives for Florida is obviously we have people from all over coming in to Florida. So we just don't have enough inventory for all of them right now. That's our biggest challenge right now, is inventory.
No, absolutely.
Right. I mean, how many buyers like right now that you have in your pipeline that are still waiting for more inventory to come on the market to make a move on something? I have some.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. I have, buyers from out of state. I have them set up on a portal, and, they're looking for the perfect, beach condo. And there's hardly anything right now, direct ocean, hardly anything. Yeah. So I have them on a portal. They're not, they don't have to buy right now, but they do want to buy. They do want to take advantage, but the right property just hasn't hit yet.
No, that's true.
Like up to $1 million, and it's still hard to find.
And it is that the condo and townhouses sales have increased. Speaking of condos.
Yes.
So that inventory is down on that, and home price closed sales are up.
Yeah.
So it's
actually the condos and the townhouses, I think the median price increased more on them than the single families.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I think
looking at my list for St. Lucie County.
It was consistent with the state numbers, so I was like, oh wow, okay, 27% increase. That's pretty drastic there. So, but
absolutely,
at the same time, when you think about affordability, generally townhouses and condos, like the inland ones, not like oceanfront,
right,
are generally less expensive than the single family. So they had a surge in uptick because it's hard to find any single family homes anymore for under $250. So, the next best thing is a townhouse or a condominium.
Right. Yeah. No, and then we've seen that here. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So, but hey, we'll just keep doing, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. And keep putting the word out there that we have buyers for your homes. And
Yes.
eventually sellers, will come to, but right now, a lot of sellers are just not, they're like, where do I go? Where do I go? Okay, I'm
Right.
staying here. I'm not leaving the area. Where do I go? I'm not going to pay more money for a place unless I really need to upsize. So that's the major, like hurdle right now is all right. Yeah, I want to sell, but can I get anything? I don't want to downsize, and I don't really want to. I want to have what I have now for less money. Does it exist? No, it doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah. Or I have somebody who wants to sell but wants to rent for a little while, but there's nowhere to rent.
Right.
So
So the last bullet point is we're talking about a category that usually gets left behind, and it's usually the last one, the last category of buyers to to really try to get it before it's too late. The fear of missing out, the first time buyer. And this happened the last cycle. We had a whole bunch of first time buyers that were tired of seeing their rent go up, and they're tired of throwing their money away, $1,500, $2,000 a month. And now interest rates are so low, they could own something for that or less in some cases. So they're trying to get their hands on, a property, but they may be cash strapped.
right.
So,
Yeah.
So there's a program here in Florida by the Florida Housing and Finance, and it's the down payment assistance program. And it is available. Steve, if you're still on, I know Steve actually handles this program. It's a $7,500 down payment. It's basically, money that's given to you. You do have to pay it back if you sell within 5 years. And then there's a $10,000 one. It's a second mortgage, so you are paying that back. It's a second mortgage, but you can pair those up with a 3% down mortgage program, so that money can be used for your down payment or down payment and closing costs. Again, not every lender handles this. There's certain lenders that handle this program. So this is a little different than the county programs, like the SHIP money, the monies that only come in a certain amount of money in a pool, maybe 500,000 or, whatever comes into a county, and then it's gone. Once it's used up, it's gone. And you got to wait for the next round. This money is basically a bond. So it's a continuous bond pool of bond that is out there by the state of Florida. So the interest rates are a little different. They're not tied to the standard. Like if you see a 2.62, they're generally a little bit more than your standard mortgage interest rate. Steve just commented here.
Great.
Thank you, Steve. There are other programs you can get 3%, 4%, 5% forgivable second mortgages also. So that's why it's important to talk to a mortgage lender that handles this program, because you may even, and he offers some different programs that are not tied into the state bond program, where you can get a 3% down payment assistance on a conventional. So that's why it's important to have a good lender that knows all the ins and outs of all of these programs. And I've got Steve working with a couple of people right now for some of these programs. And if you are cash strapped, but your credit is fair, it's good or whatever, there's money out there. You just have to, again, it's for first time buyers. There is money out there. A lot of people think, oh, I'm first time buyer. I'm not going to qualify for something. Yeah, you can.
No, thank you for bringing that up too, for the people who, may not know that.
Yeah. And there's let me see if I can get this link here and post. Well, Steve, you know what, Steve, if you're still listening, you can post a link, or information about that program. If you have anything on your website, we'll go ahead and, direct them to you. If you're still listening, appreciate that. But that's Stephen Thagard with Embrace Home Loans. He's actually located right here in Brevard County. And there it is. There, he's just
fantastic.
General link, floridahousing.org.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you can go on there and you can actually review all the details of that program. I was a mortgage lender back in the last the last decade, and I used to actually handle that program. It's a great program, very rewarding. I've had many people that purchased a home through that program, and it really helped them because they ended up becoming, a second and third third time home buyer, where they've sold that home and they upsized and purchased a home that was, $100,000-$200,000 more than when they purchased that home. So it can really help jumpstart you as a home buyer. You don't want to miss out on, on the housing opportunity right now. Even though we're in a tight inventory market, you can still qualify for something. If you need that extra little help there with the down payment assistance, there is money out there. So you really just have to talk to somebody like Steve Thagard or any other lender that handles this program. And there is a list in that website as well, Lori, of lenders that are approved. So if if your mortgage lender doesn't handle that, you can always go on there and look and see who's in your area in that county.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's good information. So,
Great.
But that's a great, again, it's a great resource for first-time buyers. Some people just don't think they can qualify because they don't have the money down.
Right.
And, that can help quite a few people.
It'd be a game changer.
I encourage everyone out there to look into that. If you're, renting, you're thinking about buying, but you don't have but maybe a few $1,000s that you can spare. Of course, now's the time of year where, taxes, refunds, people are, all right, well, I've got a little extra money, but I don't have quite enough money to purchase a home for a down payment. Maybe I'll go buy a car instead. If you need a car, great. I understand if you got a car that needs to be replaced, but before you just make that assumption, please check this program out. Between that and maybe, your money, you can use your getting a tax refund or stimulus or whatever else you're getting. You can, combine that together and you'll have enough money to put down and close on a house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the conversation.
So we're going to open it up if anybody's got any questions out there. Now, again, I don't think YouTube allows us to see their comments, so we may have questions on YouTube. Let me go into YouTube and see if I can see what's going on the YouTube channel. But anybody else that's watching on Facebook Live, you have any questions for us? We're happy to take your questions. I was going to take calls, but we're not on the air taking phone calls, but we're taking comments. Any other thing you want to add, Lori, about the market and any other thing?
No, just basically, if you're on the fence, come off. Come
off the fence. That's
We'll help you. Come off the fence.
Lori, you're in you handle the Treasure Coast, like Fort Pierce and Port St. Lucie.
Yes, Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, Palm City, Stewart, Martin County, all of Martin County, and then North Palm Beach. So Jupiter.
Oh, nice.
Palm Beach Gardens. Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know if you followed like what's going on in Palm Beach County, but the mega million mansions that are selling down there, I mean, they're setting records, right? They've sold more. Here we are. Here's YouTube. They're selling more mega mansions now in the last 6 months than they've ever sold before.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. I watch, the closed sales. I try to log in there at least, a few times a week. And it's crazy. That market has taken off too, where those houses would sit for a little while,
Oh yeah, for sure. I just hopped over to YouTube and to see it, and we don't have any comments over there. So we're streaming. Okay. We're streaming on YouTube, but anybody that's not able to watch this, and you have to hop off or whatever, and you're just hopping on, you can go back and watch this. It should be archived on the Facebook feed. So I'll go ahead and share it again as well. Lori, you can share this as well with your news feed with your people down there, and we'll have to have you on again. So had a really good time talking to you about the real estate market, and always good to see you. I enjoy following you as well. I love your live broadcasts down there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody looking for an excellent buyer's agent or listing agent help you with your real estate needs in Treasure Coast, that would be Lori Laramie.
I
And
appreciate that, Steve.
her and I refer people back and forth. So yeah, we enjoy, and of course, anybody that you've always taken care of for us, we appreciate that. They love you.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Same here.
Yeah, and Steve, thank you. Steve just said thanks to both of us.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve.
So yeah, if Steve can lend anywhere. I know you have mortgage people where you're at as well, but if you ever have a hard time getting something done or whatever, and you need another opinion, Steve's always there. He can lend in the entire state of Florida as well. So
I'll grab his info from there.
Good, to have at least a handful, even a couple extras, great mortgage lenders that, for whatever reason, right? You never know. You got somebody that needs to be qualified immediately, and you go down your list and no one's available. Maybe somebody's on vacation. You just never know. So.
No, you don't. You never know. I had somebody say, we're not taking any more. We're so busy. Okay. All right.
But, well, that's going to wrap it for the show today. First real estate market update show of the year, and first time using StreamYard. So hopefully it looked good out there to everybody. And we're going to have this show every Thursday at 2:00. Lori, I'll definitely ask you to come back on as a guest again in the future. I do have the person that was supposed to join me today had to cancel yesterday, and but I've got a few others that also showed interest. They just couldn't do it this week. So of course I was glad you were able to fill in on short notice.
I appreciate that. I just happened to be in the office. I'm like, okay, I could do this.
Yeah. Originally I was going, so I was going to handle on the east side, and then I had somebody on the southwest side, and then somebody in the central. Well,
right.
Neither of them, they both canceled. So we were going to kind of have a little triangle, all right, east, central, southwest, but it's okay.
Well, it came at the right time because
handle the east.
Well, you're fantastic, and I appreciate your videos too, and getting to know your area, through this Facebook and contact. So thank you again for having me.
To reach out to you in advance and let you know when I'm heading down through that area, because I'm always passing by there. So next time I know that I'm coming down, I'll hit you up, and we'll see if we can make a lunch happen somewhere. I don't know. Is Sailor Return still there?
It is.
I think they're open for dinner, though. I don't think they're open for lunch, but any other place.
No, they have lunch. They should. They used to have lunch there. Yeah.
There's another place down there. Is it Twisted Tuna?
Yep. That's right in my where I live.
Yeah, Twisted Tuna. So we'll make I haven't been to that one, so we'll try to make that happen the next time I'm coming through there.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, this is Steve Vitani here, real estate realtor and real estate agent here in Brevard County, and Lori Laramie, real estate agent, realtor in the Treasure Coast area, Fort Pierce, and handling Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, even up into down into the Jupiter area. So if you need anything, please give us a call. I'm going to give you my phone number, 321-749-9394. Of course, you can always message me on Facebook Messenger. And Lori, if you want to go ahead and blast your phone number out there, you go ahead.
Sure, absolutely. If you want to contact me, you're in this area looking to buy or sell, I am at 772-678-1682. Awesome.
And the next time I'll go ahead and I'll get a little fancier with the tickers, and we can have our phone numbers just scrolling across. So,
perfect.
Again, first time with StreamYard, so I'll get better with it.
No, you did good. This is my first time on this.
Thanks for coming on again, Lori, and you have a great rest of the week. Go sell those properties.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you real soon.
All right, you too. Bye, Steve.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.